Hello, everybody. It's Rick. It's May the 8th, 2023. Okay. How to contact me? Well, I've added a new email address. I've had it for a while, but I had a laziness or whatever. I didn't start using it, but I use a secured email. It's richardw0327 at proton.me. Proton mail. That's what it is. We also have rick0327 at me.com. Rick0327 AOL. Dignified protection at gmail. Those ones are the emails are basically like another social security number. Whenever you have to sign up or apply for something, they require an email address. And many times they sell that information, and before you know it, you become spam because you're marked spam by other companies and other people. And so by using a secure email address, you can't be marked as spam, or they can't have access to your email. I just want to understand with Proton Mail. I'll give you a perfect example. Try sending, using a Gmail account, try sending 3 or 4 emails with a blank subject line, and they'll keep responding, automated response. You left the subject blank, and after, like I said, 3, 4, maybe 5 times, they'll mark you that you're some suspicious or unusual activity on your email. What they want to do is really what they want to do. They want to see what you're emailing about. So I mean, everything is hackable and nothing's secure. Anyway. Okay, so my bank, I got somebody's bank account restraining notice released using my paperwork in New York, and we're going to talk about how to remove passport denial or revocation. All right, let's get back to this again. I'm not a legal professional. Okay, I make no guarantees. If you're interested in my many affidavits, send me an email, as I said, to these emails, right? Email accounts right here. Sorry, I'm all over the place. I'm still a little rusty. Anyway, I'm going to try and keep this video short. Okay, here's the proof. Guy in New York, Andrew. The first filing notices are in the works. He filed one to my bank and the local sport unit in my county. They went through. They've been noticed of legal actions. After having his bank account's been suspended, restricted of $7,000 for over a year, they've noticed me that the child support unit released my bank account, and I have full access to my deposits. I can't thank you enough. Okay, so again, it's there's some proof that helps them, and trust me, New York is rough. Before I knew half the stuff I knew, they caused me to lose my home back in 2013 because I couldn't pay my mortgage because I couldn't get my bank account released, and I didn't know half of what I know now. 1 second. Turn this annoying shit off. And I couldn't pay my mortgage and forced me to sell my house before it foreclosed. Lost a lot of money. But this is how vindictive they were, because I was already at that point showing up without a lawyer or a liar, and which allowed me to speak my mind and say whatever the hell I wanted, and they didn't like that. So they decided to really stick it up my rear end. This is how vindictive these people are. A lot of you already know this, okay? So I'm not telling you guys anything you don't know. And if you haven't been there yet, you will find out, unless you start sending notices to these people of who you are. Okay, so, all right, how do you cease and resist? Look at me. Cease and desist, excuse me, by using the state sunshine law. Okay, state sunshine law is basically the Freedom of Information Act that you could send to businesses, state agencies, photocopies, especially if you inquiring about fraud. So what we're going to do is demand from child support a photocopy of your autograph, signature, wet inked autograph, wet inked signature. All right, a signature is for a contract, an autograph is basically when you sign under common law. It doesn't matter. They understand what you mean. Express consent to contract for the child support agency, and a photocopy of the warrant from a court of proper jurisdiction. What I did with my paperwork to send to the banking institution, when you walk into a bank, you're a customer. They call you a customer. So it's the same premise with the bullshit child support people. You're walking in there as a customer because they're a business. They tricked you to show up. They scared you, notified you're going to be arrested. So anyway, when you walk into the bank and you agreed by signature to make bank deposits. Now, if you know anything about the banks and fractional reserves, if you deposit $100 in the bank, they're allowed to lend out $900. Okay, and again, I'm not an expert. I've been around the internet enough to know what fractional is. I might be a little bit off, but I'm in the ballpark. Okay, so don't hold me to that. But I know what fractional. So they're allowed to lend out your money, but 10 times the amount of your money. Okay, so that's why if you were to go to your bank and let's say you had $20,000 in the bank and said you wanted to take it out in one day, they're going to say they can't give it to you because they need a couple of days to get it to you. And they probably got to fix their books. Who the hell knows? But anyway, when you made the agreement to become a customer, they should have presented to you a contract, a policy, saying that they're allowed to restrain your deposits if they receive a warrant from the bank or they received a notice from a state agency. Now, I don't recall ever seeing that, but if they did and they didn't point it out to you, who would make a deposit knowing that they're allowed to freeze your bank account? Now, with a warrant you can understand, but not coming from a phony child support company posing as an agency, posing as a court. A 4D contractor, subcontractor, non-judicial official, or judge, what do you call it? Judge surrogate, okay, which is basically stand-in for a judge. So if you have a judge surrogate who's not a judge issuing a restraining notice, that's basically fraud because they have no authority. Okay, and this is what the guy that I just showed you, he sent that to me. He got a response pretty quick actually, because I sent him the paperwork maybe a couple of weeks ago, and this email is from May 1st, so that's pretty quick. All right, so I just talked to you about that with the banks, but now I'm going to help you guys with the passport denial. They have very specific procedures they're supposed to follow. Okay, so again, we're going to use the Federal Sunshine Laws, Freedom of Information Act. You're going to send an affidavit to the U.S. Department of State. The address is 2201. What the hell does C stand for? I don't know. C State Center. Who the hell knows? Northwest Washington, D.C. Zip code 20520. And that's from the website. Okay. And you can send an affidavit to your child support enforcement agent. Now, you would know what that address is. It's the address of whoever contacted you. Or look up in your state. If you're not sure, you could call up the 800 number and say, my passport was denied or revoked for child support debt. Now, they're only allowed to do this. They're not allowed, but under their rules and procedures, they need at least more than $2,500 in arrears. Okay. So you're going to request a photocopy of the certification by state agency. Every state agency has to send a notice to the Secretary of Health and Human Services. This is I cut and paste in such format and accompanied by supporting documentation as the Secretary may require by 42 U.S.C. Section 654, sub 31B. Okay, so we're going to look here under 42 U.S.C. 1301 definitions, right? Secretary, except when the context otherwise requires, means the Secretary of Health and Human Services. So you're going to send the affidavit to the United States Department of State demanding on the Sunshine Law, we went through this already, that an individual, you, owes more than $2,500 in arrears, as authorized by 42 U.S.C. Section 652, which is right here. If the Secretary already established that the Secretary is the Secretary of State, receives a certification by a state agency, it's supposed to be the child support agency, in accordance with the requirements under 654 subsection 31, which we just showed you here, down here, B. I got it over here too, I'll show it to you. The Secretary shall transmit such certification to the Secretary of State. So we're going to send the notice to the Secretary of State demanding a copy of the certificate. Oh, by the way, I've had many people get their passport back with my paperwork. All right, I've been pretty successful with that. So that's why I'm making a video. Because a lot of people one guy reached out to me. He's a musician and he travels and he can't make any money. Also, people want to travel abroad. Maybe they have children there, family, and they can't go there because it is nonsense. Okay. So the Secretary and the Secretary of State shall not be liable to an individual for any action with respect to a certification. That's funny. All right, so this is U.S. Code 65131. All right, you can read this. Each individual concerned is afforded notice of such. So they're supposed to provide you a notice that your passport's going to be suspended. And the certification by the state agency is furnished to the Secretary in such format. This is the part I cut and copied. Where is it? Over here. See here, such format right here, down here, number 4. All right, so it's really simple. I mean, and the reason why you're going to use the Sunshine Law is because it's a freedom of information. You have a right to know. So you could just, keep it simple and just say you want a photocopy of the certification that was sent under 42 U.S.C. section right here, 31B. Okay, and then you can send it to the Secretary, to the Department of State under 42 U.S.C. section 652K, asking for a copy, demanding a photocopy of the certification. So, all right, so that's basically it. I'm just going to do a quick video. For me, it's quick anyway, 15 minutes. All right, the last one I went way over, so bullshitting too much. I'm sorry about that because it's been a while. And I'm slowly getting back into it. Okay. And I want to thank, people for reaching out to me. I want to thank people for sending me information. A lot of it's very important, and I look at all of it, so I appreciate it. All right, so again, if you made it this far, okay, I know some people don't have the wherewithal to stay through the whole video, but again, you can contact me here. Okay. All right, so I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.